I respect those who have faced their own weaknesses and turned them into strength. Let's start story. Ever felt like life was moving too fast while you were stuck in place? Like everyone else was speeding ahead and you were just waiting? This is the story of how a single traffic jam changed everything. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Kevin sat in his car, a prisoner of the relentless traffic. Vibrant colors of dusk danced outside his window, but inside he felt a storm brewing. His hands gripped the steering wheel tightly, knuckles white against the dark leather. Rhythmic thrum of the engine was drowned out by the cacophony of honking horns and frustrated sighs from fellow drivers. "This is ridiculous," he muttered under his breath, his voice barely audible over the chaos. 3 hours had passed since he left the office, and now, as he stared at the sea of unmoving vehicles ahead, a heavy weight settled in his chest. The smell of stale coffee lingered in his car, a reminder of long hours spent at work, chasing deadlines that seemed to multiply like rabbits. He could feel the tension creeping into his shoulders, tightening like a vice. Kevin glanced at the clock on his dashboard. Time seemed to mock him. Each tick echoed like a countdown to disappointment. He shifted his gaze to the driver next to him, a man in a sleek black car, dressed sharply in a tailored suit. The man was laughing into his phone, seemingly unfazed by the gridlock around them. Kevin's heart sank as he compared himself to that picture of success. "What am I doing with my life?" he thought, a bitter taste rising in his throat. As he sat there, Kevin couldn't shake off the feeling of inadequacy. Friends from college were posting pictures of vacations in exotic places and sharing news about promotions and new homes. Here he was, stuck in traffic, stuck in life. It felt like everyone else was racing ahead while he trudged along at a snail's pace. Then, something shifted within him. A flicker of realization sparked as he took a deep breath, inhaling the faint scent of fresh rain mixed with exhaust fumes wafting through his cracked window. He focused on that moment, the stillness amidst the chaos, and let it wash over him. Kevin glanced at his reflection in the rearview mirror. His tired eyes stared back at him, but there was something more. An ember of hope flickering beneath the fatigue. He thought about all those hours spent worrying about what others thought and how he measured up against their successes. Why was I trying to keep up with someone else's race? As if answering his own question, Kevin slowly loosened his grip on the steering wheel. Frustration that had been so sharp began to dull into something softer. A sense of acceptance. The light ahead turned green and cars began to inch forward. But this time, Kevin didn't feel that familiar rush of impatience. Instead, he embraced the moment, letting go of envy and embracing gratitude for where he was right now. His phone buzzed with a message from work, a reminder about an upcoming meeting, but instead of jumping straight to it, Kevin took another deep breath. He wasn't going to rush through life anymore or measure his worth against others' achievements. He realized that life wasn't meant to be sprinted through. It was a journey to be savored, every twist and turn an opportunity for growth. As he drove on, the evening sky darkened around him, but inside he felt lighter than air. For the first time in ages, Kevin smiled. A genuine smile that lit up his face like the stars beginning to twinkle above him. He chuckled softly at how foolishly he had been viewing life as a race rather than an adventure. As traffic began to flow more smoothly and lights flickered on across the cityscape, Kevin felt an overwhelming sense of peace settle over him. He wasn't just moving toward home, he was moving toward self-acceptance and understanding. By the time he pulled into his driveway, it was as if a weight had lifted off his shoulders. Instead of scrolling through social media that night or comparing himself to others, Kevin chose to reflect on his journey, the progress he'd made, and who he was becoming. He made a promise to himself to live with gratitude and embrace each moment as it came. No more racing against time or others' timelines. 4 important lessons drawn from Kevin's experience in the traffic jam can inspire and guide anyone. First lesson, let go of the need to compare yourself to others. Comparing your journey to others only leads to frustration and insecurity. Everyone is on their own path, and everyone's timeline is different. Your journey is unique, and it's enough as it is. Embrace where you are instead of measuring your worth by someone else's success. Second lesson, embrace the present moment. Life is full of moments that are easy to overlook when we're caught up in the rush. By pausing to embrace the present, we open ourselves to peace and clarity. Every moment is an opportunity to grow, even if it's not the one we expected. Third lesson, recognize the power of self-acceptance. Self-acceptance is powerful. When we stop fighting against ourselves and our circumstances, we open up to growth, peace, and clarity. It's not about where you think you should be. It's about accepting where you are and knowing that you're enough. Fourth lesson, life is a journey, not a sprint. Life isn't about rushing to the finish line, it's about enjoying the ride. Every setback or delay is part of the adventure, and each step along the way has something valuable to offer. Savor the journey, because it's not about where you're going. It's about who you become along the way. Never forget, your time is far more precious than any video, app, or headline. We'll keep delivering stories that inspire. Keep your courage up. Together we'll succeed.